Hey, what's up everybody? This is HD and I'm coming at you guys with another Starcraft 2 broadcast. Today we're going to be looking at a game between Complexity's Naniwa and Empire.Happy. This is going to be a Protoss versus Terran, which I'm excited because I don't think I do nearly enough Protosses versus Terran. There may be a little bit of bias in there because I do tend to do a lot of Zergs and a lot of Zerg versus Terran actually, so this is exciting for me to be able to mix it up and do a PvT, which I don't think I've done one for a couple of weeks now. And this is supposed to be a really good game in the Gigabyte, I think it's the ROG tournament. I know that Gigabyte either sponsored it or helped run the tournament, so it was a pretty big event in the last couple of days. And this is just one game from that best of series, so I'm not going to be doing the entire best of. I think I'm going to be trying to do, you know, the most highlighted replays on my YouTube channel here and there, because I know you guys want to see the highlights. And while best ofs are really exciting, I'm going to try to save the best ofs for really high profile players. Not to say that these guys aren't high profile. Naniwa is actually, if you guys tuned into Major League Gaming at Providence, he actually got to second place at MLG. He played against Lenok in the grand finals, and he has just been playing incredibly well lately. Let's not forget Naniwa also won MLG earlier this year, but a lot of players don't really count that. A lot of people in the community don't really count that because this is before Koreans started to come into Major League Gaming. So a lot of people will just say, well, that wasn't really the true MLG in its modern current form. So Naniwa kind of showed everyone what's up, and he came back with the vengeance. He got second place against Lenok, and of course he had to defeat some great players to get up there, none of which come to my mind right now, but obviously MLG now features so many Koreans, so many top players in the world that to get second place is really good for him. And so he's going to be playing against Empire.Happy, who is going to be the blue Terran at the right hand side of the map. I did figure out, guys, that the reason why my colors were off is because I did hit Alt-F. A lot of people in the comments in the game for HDRA versus Select said that HD blah, 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 blah. Yes, I know, I hit Alt-F after reading the comments, so thank you very much, guys, for pointing that out to me. I really do, you know, pay attention to all the comments, and I'm always trying to keep my eye out on how I can improve things, and that's obviously one thing that is now going to be fixed. So now the colors will never be wrong, and the scoreboard is always going to be right. So yeah, this is going to be a game between Naniwa and Empire.Happy. Pretty excited about this one. Let's see what happens. Naniwa is going to go ahead and open up with a Nexus before Gateway, actually, I believe. Yes, that's a Nexus before Gateway, so that's a Nexus first opening. And he's also getting a gas as well. So pretty bold expansion here from him, and that's not too surprising. Naniwa can play macro pretty hardcore. Happy, meanwhile, hasn't exactly thrown down a command center of his own. He's actually going Barracks Factory first. So there's a bit of a switch up here, I feel like, because a lot of times when you're playing against an opponent who fast expands, your immediate reaction is to go ahead and get an expansion down yourself. But Empire.Happy hasn't quite done that yet. Let's see if he throws it down after the factory or if he just goes for a 1-1-1 all-in here. Certainly possible. It's not quite as prevalent as it was when it first came out. The 1-1-1 all-in, of course, being the Barracks Factory starport opening, and then you just bum rush the Protoss player and try to kill him off in the first couple of seconds. And it hasn't been quite as prevalent today because a lot of Protoss now can kind of deal with it. But it does look like Happy is going to go ahead and open up Barracks Factory starports. So, yeah, all rally points except the Barracks now being set to the front door of the Protoss player. So I'm pretty much expecting at this point a 1-1-1 all-in. He hasn't exactly thrown down any add-on on the Barracks yet. Let's see if he decides to do that. Obviously, add-ons are crucial when it comes to this all-in, because you only get so many add-ons and you really want to maximize your production off of one base. Naniwa, meanwhile, going to go ahead and throw up the robotics facility. Doesn't exactly know what's going on right now. I'm surprised he hasn't been scouting a little bit better. I thought he would have sent in a probe or something. He hasn't even found where the Terran's at yet. And the Hellion is going to make its way in. It will do a little bit of damage, but nothing in terms of actually killing off a Harvester, I don't think. I didn't actually look at that as I was looking at the production tab. So Happy just kind of poking in there, seeing what's up. He is going to go ahead and go with the command center, and he's going to throw up a bunker at the front as well. So this is actually a little interesting now. He has, you know, a lot of production, and yet he's also expanding. Most of the times when a Protoss player scouts this, they're going to be like, oh my god, flip out, there's a 1-1 all-in coming for me. But Happy is actually going to follow this up with an expansion at a somewhat stranger timing, because most Terrans are going to expand. If they scout a fast nexus, they're going to immediately throw down the command center after a barracks, or at the latest after the factory. But Happy's thrown it after the starport, and he's continuing to add on more production here in the form of additional barracks here. So he is going to have a lot of production off of this base, and I can't help but feel that he's going to have certainly a window to make something happen here. Although, yes, if he had just, foregone the command center, he certainly would have had a very powerful push. But he's still going to have a push nonetheless, and let's see what he does with that. A Stargate up right now for Naniwa, who is now producing Phoenix. Wow, this game is actually really interesting. Phoenix, of course, they're used against Terrans, they're used against Protoss, they're used against Zerg, but it's not the most common opening. A Comsat will go down to reveal the Phoenix on the way, and it also sees the secondary Phoenix, because if you look, you can kind of see the outline of that inside the Stargate. And that's actually something interesting to talk about right now, because in Starcraft 2 Heart of the Swarm, when I played it at Anaheim, they actually ended up removing the outline inside the Stargate, and that makes a lot of sense because, of course, Protoss now have a unit called the, I believe it's called the, I think it's the Oracle. It's able to actually see what a building's producing. So basically, if you leave that Stargate silhouette in there, it kind of defeats the purpose. So they did remove that in Heart of the Swarm. Here comes 2 Phoenix, though. They are going to kill off 1 SCV, kills off a 2nd SCV. Happy actually doesn't have much anti-air at all. There are his Marines, and they will drive away the Phoenix, not quite killing off any yet. But I guess Happy's pretty comfortable not throwing up turrets right now, and a big reason to that is because he has so much production. Like I said before, he's got 3 barracks already, factory and starport. He can obviously produce Vikings. He can obviously produce a lot of Marines. Love the Raven, though. Very fast Raven there, of course, gives you a lot of flexibility. As you're pushing out, you can pick off observers. Even in your base, you can pick off obs. And just the ability to throw down auto turrets or even a PDD against mass stalkers can be extremely beneficial for your bio army. And it looks like this observer will also be picked off as he stems up just a portion of his army to chase it down. Very smart play by Happy. Those observers don't exactly come cheap. And that's going to certainly limit Naniwa now, who's now cornered in on 2 bases, as Happy, like I said before, having a lot of production, can push out and make something happen. And it looks like here on Antigua Shipyard, he wants to break down the rocks that are leading into the possible 3rd of the Protoss player. And I do agree with that. A lot of times, StarCraft 2 players don't do this. They need to break down those rocks just to give themselves an access path into that 3rd. It makes it easier in the mid to late game, and it looks like there is going to be engaged here. 2 sentries throwing down their Guardian Shield. An auto turret comes down as well, but the auto turret was surrounded by Zealots, which went down pretty quickly. The Guardian Shield is helping so much here now. It doesn't stack, but it will reduce the damage those Marines do by 2. And it looks like another Guardian Shield coming up, just protecting the Zealots in the front. And it looks like Naniwa, even though he started off with the less productive build, has been able to macro out thanks to his faster Nexus, and he will have enough forces to push his army away, it looks like. At the very least, kill off the Raven, which he does do. No, not quite going to be able to destroy off the entire army, but his reinforcements should be coming in pretty soon here. I was expecting the reinforcements to come sooner. But with the reinforcements, he should be able to drive this away. In fact, there's no Medivacs now, there's no Raven now. A Terran army without that air support is pretty weak. It's not nearly as stable, and I can understand there why Happy would go ahead and pull back. So great play by Naniwa, who is now double chrono boosting 2-2. So his army, while he had less production for a small window, he has certainly caught up in a big way. Look at all the gateways he's now got. Look at all the tech he's now funding. He is spending a lot of his resources into technology, investing in the future, and you know what? His Zealots, his Stalkers, even his Sentries are all going to get that benefit in terms of armor and weapons. And that Protoss army is going to be very, very scary. And he's still actually harassing with the Phoenix here. 7 kills total on those Phoenix. Finally a missile turret coming up for Happy, who realizes he needs that. But Happy's production not nearly on the same scale. He's just now starting to catch up with more barracks, but he was behind for some time there. And his upgrades really kind of faltering as well. And I think a lot of this has to do with him just, expanding a little bit later. I don't know if he pushed out too late there. I would imagine so. I think if he just pushed out a little bit sooner, took advantage of the fact that his expansion was later, and therefore he had more of an army, he could have done a little bit more damage. But as a result, now he is behind in supply by just a little bit. And we'll see how that kind of dictates the rest of this game, as Naniwa is now pushing out. He has got a 1 armor, 1 weapons. He will be getting 2-2 momentarily here, so he's certainly got a timing window to make something happen. I think Empire.Happy realizes that as he's got ahead and landed his factory, which, you know, he's not investing in mech at all. Might as well use it as a stationary roadblock, so to say. And he's even adding up turrets and bunkers right now, so he really wants to fortify his front door here. But one thing he's got to be careful and maybe even concerned about, if he's kind of aware about this game, which I'm sure he is these rocks. These destructible rocks lead right up behind this artificial wall here and right into the 3rd expansion. So if he's not careful, he could find himself circumvented pretty quickly. We'll see what happens. Naniwa now actually finishing 2-2, immediately going into 3-3. Damn, he's got upgrades up to wazoo. He's at 15 minutes into this game, and he is getting so many upgrades already. He is certainly going to be a force to be reckoned with. This is quite scary, and that's all Zealots powered by charge as well. And you know, they're like the Energizer Bunny powered by the Duracell battery. They just keep going and going and going. And it's pretty damn scary. Now, you guys can see he's broken down the backdoor rocks. Empire.Happy scans, he sees what's coming, and now he's got to make a decision. Do I run up and defend, or do I stay in the bunkers? Oh, he launches a huge EMP, though. Hits most of the Protoss forces. Great EMPing right there. His ghosts are in the front, though. They will end up going down, as you guys can see there. But that EMP may have just saved his day, although he's using a lot of SCVs at the front door, and excuse me, at the 3rd expansion. And now it looks like Empire.Happy able to kill off everything, but unable to give pursuit because of the double force field. Now you've got to ask yourselves, did Naniwa do enough damage there? And I don't think the answer is yes. If we pull up the workers killed tab, he killed 17 workers by kind of going up here, but he lost a major chunk of his army, about 20-ish supply or so, and Happy now with the bigger army, more health. Of course, he EMP'd most of the Protoss ball as well, although it looks like most of the units that were EMP'd did go down. Certainly has a window to push right now. Happy has a window to push, and if he wants to, he should punish this 3rd Nexus as well, just as his 3rd was punished at the same time. He already broke down these backdoor rocks. He has an opportunity to go, and it doesn't look like he's going to take advantage of it, and oh no, even though he has the advantage right now, I feel like he is giving it back to Happy, to Naniwa, because Naniwa is about to finish 3-3, and the most crucial upgrade as well, the Storm. Oh my goodness, Naniwa getting a breather here, because if 3-3 finishes and Storm finishes, Naniwa can certainly make a hold. I don't know how Happy would be able to break through, and it looks like he is going to be able to finish 3-3. Storm is only 10 seconds away. He's got plenty of Templar in the back. That is 5 high Templar powered by Sonic Storms, and now all of a sudden Happy finding himself back on the defensive foot, and that is not good. It looks like Naniwa going to go ahead and barrel up this ramp again. Now his forces are bundled up. A nice EMP here would be a nice Christmas present for Happy. If he can do it, here he goes! The Ghost going forward, but launching. Yes, they do hit an EMP, but not quite hitting all the forces. Remember, EMP's range was significantly reduced. It looks like there's another Templar up here. It gets EMP'd, though. It gets EMP'd by the Ghost downstairs. Beautiful control by Happy. Another Templar waiting, though, and another EMP hits. Beautiful EMPs, but that Templar had enough energy saved up for a secondary Storm. Storm's launching all around, but not hitting the main bio army. Beautiful play, but at the same time, Naniwa, taking the high ground advantage, was able to kill off the command center and another 15 or so workers. My goodness, that's just showing the high ground advantage you get in StarCraft 2, and Naniwa just ravaged the Terran expansion, despite the great control from Happy, EMPing the Templars on the ledge. It does look like, though, Happy is going to be able to give pursuit here. Naniwa may have overcommitted himself, and he is going to have to fall back now, losing a chunk of his army there. But this time, certainly well worth it, because he killed off the command center. He killed off, oh my goodness, 45 workers. It looks like more SCVs ended up dying in the raging battle as well. So that was not good for Happy. And now Happy's in a bit of a troublesome spot, as Naniwa is grabbing a 4th Nexus. A Marine will scout that out, and hopefully he calls for reinforcements, because a Zealot is coming in here, and that Zealot will be able to kill off a lowly 1-2 Marine pretty damn easily. Boom, 3-shotted, and that's a terrible way to die. So, it does look like, ooh, the medevac goes down. I don't know if Naniwa saw that. It was pretty close, depending on whether or not Naniwa was looking at that probe at that time, or looking at his minimap. It does look like he is going to lose his fourth Nexus possibly though, because he doesn't have any pylons nearby to reinforce, at least not any pylons that are up quite yet, and the medevac drop is going to go down, and it will have quite a bit of a 1-2 forces here, 1 armor, 2 weapons, and that will be enough with the stim to take down this Nexus. Beautiful play by Happy. Exactly what he needed to do to kind of etch himself back into this game. Still a tough spot for him though. Let's see if he can do another drop. Oh, but there's 4 charge lots and a Templar waiting. Templars do warp in with enough energy for a feedback. And Naniwa, is he going to get that feedback off? He will, but the medevac really never had that much energy anyways. So Happy will just be happy to pull out of there. And just kind of go on standby mode here and regenerate his forces for some time. He is now finishing 3-3, so he will catch up in upgrades. Just going to be behind an armor for a little bit longer. But certainly the advantage going to Naniwa, who's got a big force in the middle of the map. He's now got Colossi as well, so this is going to be a tough spot for Happy because he's just started Viking production. As you guys all know, Vikings are crucial to dealing with Colossi, and here we go. Those Colossi and charge lots are just ravaging the Bio army. Couple of EMPs going down, but they matter not to the Colossus, and the Colossus are tearing everything up. There's the GG. Oh my god, it's just a Terran death and destruction land right here. Dang, that sucks. So he lost his entire army right there, not even had a chance. And Naniwa just flexing his muscle, showing why he deserves second place at MLG. So beautiful play by Naniwa, and he takes the victory here. I hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast. I'm excited to always bring you guys the highlighted replays that I can find throughout the scene, the tournaments, and through the open Battle.net events. Hopefully you guys stay tuned. If you guys get a chance, you guys can check me out on YouTube, and that's at HD Starcraft. Also check me out at Facebook and Twitter at HD Starcraft, where you guys can keep up to date with cool things that I'm doing. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now, but I do want to do a couple more replays, so I'm going to find a couple of good ones and cast them for you guys. And also, as you guys all seemingly demanded and requested, of course, you guys want to see Dota 2, so I do have some Dota 2 content I'm going to go ahead and upload. Hopefully you guys stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys later. HD signing out.